Hello, I'm Super BRG, and welcome back to the table for episode 3 of the 10% rule, or how to turn 100 into 1,000 at casino. Without much further ado, we're just going to jump right into it, because I'm sure you're chomping at the bit to see what the hell I'm talking about. Is this a progressive betting scheme? Is this a Fibuge? I can't remember, I've never used it. No, this is a flat betting system, but it is a progressive system in the sense that any method, any approach to gambling is either progressive or regressive. So yeah, I guess this is a progressive system. But no, we're not going to chase, we're not going to martingale. We're going to do flat bets, which means the same dollar amount every time till we reach a certain dollar amount, and then we leave. That's the 10% rule. If you start with $100, you leave the casino with 110. That sounds so easy. It is the hardest thing in the world to do, to walk out with $10 off of 100. But you can do it, and it's all up to your willpower. And what would happen is if you did that every day, start with whatever yesterday's dollar amount was and add 10% to that, in 24 steps you have this, $1,053. This may sound simplistic, I understand that, and for the sake of explanation, it is simplistic. I want it to be understood. So let's look at the first column. I'll have to remember that. Let's look at the first column. $100. Start with $100, and the second column is how much you need to win that day. It's just that 10%. Again, that never changes. That's the formula. How much you start with divided by 10% is how much you have to win. So if you have $100 divided by 10, that's $10. You have to win $10. The third column is the bet amount we're going to use to get there, which, spoiler, is just half of whatever the need to win amount is. But we'll talk more about that in a moment. We're just going to talk about our perfect scenario where we can walk in and win 10% every day. Why does that so plausible? I was about to seem, why does that seem so impossible to people? And that's a good question. I don't know. 10% in the financial world is a very low yield, I think, on most people's gambling return. I think most guys probably shoot for like more of a 25, 30%. I mean, depending on what dollar amount you're talking about. If you're a gambler that's got $1 million bankroll, your percentage doesn't need to be 20 or 30%, right? 10% is incredible. 1% off of that would be a lot, right? Well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make the dollar amount not so scary and definitely more obtainable and more reliably attainable at that point. So let's continue down this rabbit hole, if you'll allow me. So on day 2, or step 2, whatever you want to call that, session 2, how much would you start with? You start with whatever the dollar amount from the day before or the step before was, right? So if we did day 1, if we started with 100 and everything went well, we now have 110. Okay, and that's what step 2 shows. We start with that dollar amount. How much do you have to win that day? Same 10%, right? 10% rule. How much is 10% of 110? It's $11. So you walk away with that $11. What's day 3 starting amount? You guessed it, 121, right? Because it's just that $11 on top of the $110 the day before. Sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit. I feel like I don't explain things well, and it's like it leads to a shadiness, a shady quality. I don't know why. I'm not a shady guy. So, again, I know this is simplistic, and I'm going to go through it. We'll do it together. This will make a lot more sense if it doesn't already. It kind of should. But, I mean, that's why I'm trying to explain. This isn't a blackjack tutorial is what I'm stuttering around. This is a money management editorial for entertainment purposes only. But if you don't know how to play blackjack, you can use it on whatever game you do know. Just make sure you know that game perfectly. You have to know your game perfectly. That is a very big part of it. So let's look at column number 2 for a second. That's the need to win column. All that displays is what 10% of that first dollar amount would be. And this, you can pause this, look at this chart, but that's all this is. In a perfect scenario, if you made 10% every day on day 24 or session 24, you could do this all inside of a day. You could do 24 sessions in a day. People do. That's how much you would make. Doesn't seem so crazy. I hope it doesn't seem so crazy now. It doesn't seem like such a lunatic's claim that you can take $100 and make 1,000 in Vegas in not very much time, and with not very much complicated math and sweating and things like that. So that's the 10% rule. how do we enact it? So that's where the third column, your bet amount, comes down. All we're doing is taking whatever dollar amount we started with, up here is $100. You divide that by 10, that's how much you have to win. Take that dollar amount that you have to win and divide that by 2. Divide 10 by 2. That's your flat bet amount. Meaning, if you have $100, you have 20 $5 bets. 20 flat bets to get 2 bets ahead of it, right? To get to your 10%. Because that's all you ever want. You want 110%. So if 5 is half of your 10%, you want to do that twice, right? Pretty straightforward. But I mean, here's the math. You don't even need to do it. You can double check it. Feel free. I did a million times because I'm paranoid. But let's talk about my next little chart here because I'm dying to show you. This is how you arrive at that bet amount. It's what I just said written down. So let's say step 1 is that $100. If you look at part 1 here, you're starting your current dollar amount. That's what that is. Your bankroll, whatever. Your current dollar amount that you're going into the casino with as a whole, not session, like your entire bankroll. Divide that by 10%. If it was $100, that'd be $10. Then take that amount and divide it by 2. That's it. It's not hard math. It really isn't. I'll leave that up for another second. Dirk. All right. So here I am talking about it. Is it possible? Yes, it is. I'll show you. Well, let's just go ahead and jump into the first session. In order to do that, we have to introduce our old friend, the Shuffle Master. Blah! Hello. So, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that... Whoops. You know that a dice on top of the deck means I've already shuffled it. Still kind of haven't figured out a way I can... Seems boring to shuffle things on camera, but I know if I don't, someone's going to say, well, he had the deck stacked or something. So anyway, let's go ahead and shuffle a deck right quick. While we're doing that, we're going to talk about your brand new bankroll. You get one and you get one. So here's our $100. Let me push that away for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and count out $100 while we're waiting. Kind of a drug. Oops. Glad I checked. All right, our cards are done. Out pops the top. Mr. Shuffle Master goes away for a moment. And let me go ahead and get out our board. I'll introduce that shortly. Here's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's our $100, right? I'm just gonna put it in our little chip stacker, set it off to the side for un momento. So, I want to keep track of this as we go, because I can tend to be a little forgetful. So now I'm going to introduce the Super BRG whiteboard. Oh, that already has a pen. This is Session 1. We're starting with $100. We want to win $10. Okay? We're gonna do it by betting $5 at a time. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. That's our bet amount. So we need to win $10 by betting 5 twice. I don't know why I wrote that down. I think writing it down helps drive it home what we're trying to do. We have 100. We want to win 10. We're gonna do it by betting $5 at a time and hopefully winning twice right out of the gate. That's a pretty lame whiteboard thing. I shouldn't even have brought that out. But anyway, so here we go. Go ahead and you wanna cut the cards? There's a little thin. There you go. All right, let's play some cards. I'm getting a little bored. That's all this is about, by the way. I've got no agenda here. If you're in Las Vegas, you know what I mean. It is dead. There's nothing to do. Everywhere's closed. I have serious concerns about this town's ability to bounce back from this. I really do. And that's a lot of what this video series is about, you know. Come to Vegas. Please come to Vegas. Or anywhere. And gamble. And support your... I don't know. Don't do that. What am I saying? Let's burn a card. That's the only way I can get this in the shot, by the way, is having this right here. Normally that'd be over there. Let's get out our $5, right? Because here's our $100, and we've already established that we need to win 10%. 10% of 100 is $10, so there it is. Let's just go put our $90 aside. And let's belly up and deal. 12 against the queen, you probably take a card. 18, 16, and a bust. Okay, that is hand 1 down, and we are $5 up. 13 against 7. You take a card. Bust. Sorry if I ramble during these. It's nothing really to do but talk to myself while I'm showing you this. This is hand number 2. 18 against Nace. Insurance? No, of course not. That's too bad, because he's got it. He's got it. I should put a movie on at the top of this while I'm doing or something. That was hand 3. 16 against a 3. If you said double that, you're probably my kind of guy. That's aggressive. We're not going to double that. We're going to keep to our flat bets. We're going to do the obvious splits, the obvious double downs. We're not going to do the more kind of aerobatic doubling ace-5 stuff like that. So here we go. That's too bad. What did I say? What did I say? Anyway, a safe bet is not to double. You don't need to. 13, 14. Okay, and that's that deck. So I believe, yeah, we're completely even on that one. We didn't make any money, we didn't lose any money. And that's kind of the idea. You don't want it to be incredibly exciting every time. You don't want your heart popping out of your chest. You want it to be like going to the stock market. You know, something incredible could happen, something bad could happen, you don't know. So I'm gonna get rid of this deck. We're gonna pop in a new deck, even though they've been shuffled. I don't know how bad the sound is. It looks like. Yeah, that's loud. So I'm gonna shove this aside for a moment. And let's go back to our graph for just a moment. So on day 2, we need to win $11, right? It's pretty easy math. You need to add... Oh, good, the cards are done. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. I'm just waiting for the cards to shuffle. Thinking about putting a little guy or a little phone right here. People could call and yell at me in person. What do you think? Anyway, deck's done. Thank God. And we're on to the next session. Burned card. I actually forgot to cut the deck. But that's okay, it just got shuffled. You know what? Damn it. I can't do that. Just a second, or I'm gonna get... I'll hear about that. Yeah, just do shuffle. Alright. Wanna cut? Alright. Burn card. 19 against 6, you would stay. 10, 16, bust. That is hand 1. 9 against a 4. This is another double. This is an automatic double to me on single deck, but we're not gonna do it. Busto. That was hand 2. I believe we're done. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, so that's it. That took 2 decks. That took 2 shuffles to get to our 10% for the day. And that's what I'm trying to explain when I say, if done right, it's boring. Because you pop in, you bop in there, you bop out. It's hard to go in there and just win 10%. Because it happens fast. Or it happens incredibly slowly. You lose 7 hands right out of the gate, and you gotta sit there. Now you gotta get 9 hands up, right? If you lose 7 right out, you gotta be 2 on top. That can sometimes take a long time. But anyway, that was session 1, okay? That's it. That's it. All right. And we did right. Everything worked as planned, as expected. Take our 110 here. And we put it in the kitty until the next day. So, I really that's all there is to say about the system. I can just start doing it here in front of you, and we'll do it together to get up to that $1,000 mile point, and then we'll start talking about what else we can do beyond that $1,000 mile point. But that was session 1. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm probably gonna make a quick something or other here, and just go straight on to session 2. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Bye.